Hello folks, welcome to another episode of Michael in the Backyard. Today we're going to still use, again, the Bauer electric chainsaw. That does have an oil reservoir. It does have a 10-inch bar. Let's see how much work we can do with it today. Normally I'd bring out the old gas one, and I know some of you guys hate this stuff, but come on, it's easy. And I've got some big old locusts that are dead here, standing dead in the fence line for a while. And we're gonna see if we can knock them down, piece by piece. Little by little. They are all leaning in a direction that should fall in my favor, except for that one. That one's not good. These are kind of big. Let's see what we can do here. Now that was a 10-inch diameter tree, easy enough. Let's cut these limbs off. Now normally I'd haul this all back to the burn pile as one tree, but I'm gonna go ahead and break it up into smaller chunks so my burn pile doesn't grow exponentially widthwise. That's some seriously dry wood, though, I'll tell you that. We'll put the forks on the bucket and get this all picked up. Oh, just knocked my chain off. Doggone it. What we did there is took care of all the trees that was going to fall into this direction naturally if the wind was to blow. We got our tent set up for the 4th of July and stuff like that. So this is all in preparation to make the 4th of July as safe as possible without getting crushed by a dead tree. The other ones that are standing are leaning toward the neighbor's property, and I'd rather do that in conjunction with him. I'll be happy to haul the limbs off with my tractor, but I want him to be around. I'd like for him to fall them. Then he's responsible for any damage. These are trees that are on the fence line. Didn't have to ask permission to cut these down because they're dead. They've been dead for a couple years now, and it's just time to get them down. And that's some dry stuff. I still got 3 bars on my 8 amp hour battery, and that thing ate through. I'll go and show you the stumps. Most of the 3 of the stumps that I cut up yay high are just barely 10 inches across the blade there. I actually had to work one of them around because it was wider than the saw, but the saw did an amazing job, you know. I know you guys are, I don't want to use no electric chainsaw. That's fine, that's your choice. I just thought I was going to grab my gas saw, but I thought, no, I can throw a battery on this, throw a little oil in the tank and just go cut. And it's not really loud, and I think my neighbor works 2nd shift or 3rd shift, I don't know which, but I think he's normally asleep during the day. And that way, I didn't make a whole bunch of chainsaw noise to wake him up. That saw is fairly quiet. You more than 40 feet away, you probably went inside a house with air conditioning on, you wouldn't even know it was running. So let's go put the forks on Big Mo and get after that. While we're going over to get Big Mo, I wanted to show you some of the landscaping project we've been working on. Looks like the boss got a lot of it raked out. We've got 50 bags of mulch in here. We're using this edging that I bought. It's a rubber edging that nails down. Pretty flexible. Got some big old plastic nails that go in the ground. As long as you don't, mow over it, your push mower would run right on it. You just got to be careful with my riding mower. But I could weed eat right up to it. It's going to keep it clean and neat. I'm about, let's call it 15 bags short of getting it nice and thick because I want this to be at least 3 to 4 inches thick all over. Yeah, we bought some trees while we were on vacation. Hauled them back in the old pick-em-up truck. And this is a largest Starnia Natchez. I don't know what that is. I thought it had a name on it. But we bought some magnolia trees and some crepe myrtles. And they're supposed to live up into this zone. This is a zone 4 for temperature, and it says 4 to 9, so this is the bottom of the zone. they were way cheaper to buy them down south. We were down there anyway, picking up my pickup truck, and we loaded up the back of the truck with a bunch of trees we want to put around the backyard here, or on the property. We took 2 trees out back there where that one's at. Big, all nasty, ugly, dead, fallen. I got them. You guys seen me pick up some of those with Big Mo, and we got rid of those. So look at this parking lot, guys. This was all clay before, and look at it now. I had to actually mow it. I got the peninsula, we built up dirt there. I've got room for 3 trailers parking. I got my parking lots clear other than my pallet rack, and if you've been following the channel, you know where that came from. Let's see if old Big Mo starts. Been sitting better part of 4 weeks now since we've been on vacation, and I didn't run it for about 2 weeks before vacation. And we went on vacation for a couple weeks, and let's just see if she'll fire up. I gotta fix this. This piece broke and it was rusted. This is kind of the hinge that holds the door in place, but we'll fabricate in some new stuff. Oh man, something smells dead in here. What the heck? Something died in here somewhere. Hopefully not inside. Oh, that seems clean. All right, let's fire it up. Throttle up a little bit, see if the old 75 Ford 550. Oh no. I think I left the key on. Deader than a doornail. Well, jump pack time. I'll see if old JF Agwo comes to the rescue. I don't think it has a lot of battery left either. 58%. Negatory. Pository. Says it's ready. Can't beat that. Shade, mercy. Now this thing's got a pivoting point here now, which should make it easier to line these up, I hope. The forks are installed, we can get busy picking up some limbs. The reason I'm out here trying to get this done, and it's 90 degrees out right now, is that rain is in the forecast for the next 5 days, and if this ground gets saturated, this tractor will leave some ruts in the yard, and I don't want to do that, so I want to get it done while it's dry out. Just about spot on. They spin it around here. No, we're not spot on. Need to shove it to the. No, maybe. Well, heck, let's see how far we can get with it. Hi. can see there now, there's we cleaned it up. I got one more limb over there to get up that's laying across the fence. We're gonna scoop that up, and then we're gonna come down here and take care of a tree I pushed over next to the old pond. folks, when the sweat comes around and the sweatband meets in the middle, that's probably where the sweat's dark to the middle almost. It's time for its rehydration. It is flipping warm out. Well, the good news is we got all the big tree limbs picked up. Now we just got sticks, just some sticks to pick up in the yard. And I'll put those in the small burn barrel. Give us something to do with the four-wheeler and a little wagon maybe, huh? Let's go check out the size of these trees we cut. This is the diameter of tree that I was cutting through here with the 10-inch. That was one of them. A couple more smaller ones right here. Through the bushes and the weeds, there's another one right back in there. And then there's one that's equally as big right there. That's some work. It did some work. And the chain is still the original chain. Now what do we got for battery left? I did all that cutting. This is an 8 amp hour battery. Still got 2 lights left. Can't be mad at that. Now, granted, I didn't cut that tree up and log it up, but it wasn't my intention. If I was doing that, I'd probably grab the gas one. We'll put the old blade guard back on. That's sitting in the sun. It's hot enough to fry an egg on. Ooh, that's warm. All right. Well, folks, I know this wasn't a long episode or not necessarily incredibly entertaining. Some of you might like watching tractor work and trees fall and hearing them crack, snap, crackle, and pop. But I think it's time for me to go take the boss out for some lunch and go by the steel store and see if I can buy me some steel. Now, some of you might be asking yourself, Michael, is your shop staying cool with that Mr. Cool unit? Yes. It is very nice in here. No humidity, virtually no humidity. And it's holding at 74.2 today. Whew, and the current temperature is at 90 degrees. And the humidity is at 64%. And in here, it feels amazing. Good enough to work in, that's for sure. So we're gonna go buy some steel. And I think tomorrow's project's gonna be all indoors. Heck yeah. Well, folks, I appreciate you watching. And I appreciate you if you've already subscribed. Thank you very much. Harbor Freight Inside Track Club. What's on sale now? All right, we'll have to check that out. Well, folks, we'll see you on the next video. This is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. I'm out. Be good to one another, all right?